joining us for the PHNX Suns pregame show, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you know whenever we are live. I'm Lindsay Smith here with Saul Bookman, and apologies ahead of time. I'm a little under the weather, so if I sneeze or cough in your ear, my bad, y'all. My bad.
Yeah, we're going through it right now as an office, or at least as the Suns crew, because nobody else seems
Suns
to be
crew is
sick.
rough right now.
So.
You know, it just really upsets me because I went to exactly 0 Super Bowl waste management outings, and I'm the only one in the office that got sick
I was surrounded by millions of people and came back unscathed.
It just doesn't make sense. It's unfair. I'll put it out there. It's unfair. I don't appreciate it. Yeah. You couldn't have gotten sick in solidarity with me, Saul?
No. I mean, last week I thought I was getting sick. And then
you had a deep voice last week.
I had a super deep voice. It was sexy as hell. My wife told me so.
Well, we got the Sacramento Kings tonight, and it'll be a fun one. The fall of how SunsKings has officially been a thing. I heard some people on Twitter the other day saying that they are no longer, because you know how for a long time, the Suns and the Kings, we were both going through it. So we have empathy for the Kings, and we're low-key excited that they're finally turning things around over there. But now that our guys Cam and McKellar over the Nets, House Suns King is dead. And now it's, if we're going to team up with any other house, it's the Nets. That's what I heard. How do you feel?
To all of it. There's 30 teams in the NBA. Mm-hmm. I only care about one of them. So there's no Sun Nets, Sun Kings,
you don't have a second team
no
that you could get on board with?
I did when I was 5.
Okay.
I mean, that's it. I know. I get everybody loves Mikal and Cam, and they want to see them succeed. And yeah, I want them to get their flowers and stuff like that. But I've definitely turned the page now because that's just the way I am. I'm wired to just move on past sadness and misery.
You're dead to me.
Yeah, they
goodbye.
They are dead to me. I don't care about the Nets. I don't care about anybody except for my Phoenix Suns. That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, I can appreciate it. But it is what it is. Some of us are on teaming up with a second house and others are not, and that's okay as long as your number one is always the Suns, which it is in our hearts here. All right, so the Sacramento Kings, a lot comes with this team. Obviously, as I mentioned, they have turned things around. It is no longer an easy night off when you play the Kings. One of the things that I think that stood out to me when looking at the Kings is that they score the most points per game in the NBA at 119.6 points per game. But the Suns give up the 5th least points in the NBA at 111.3. They also have the 9th best defensive rating. But I think the key for the Suns tonight will be finding their defense quick. But I'm a little bit nervous only because I know that sometimes when you add new faces to a squad, defense can kind of take a back seat, if you will, or be harder to find that communication.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a challenge no matter what for the next couple weeks trying to fit some of these new pieces into the lineup. Bazley is going to get a chance to play tonight, which would be nice to see him on the court. And as we wait for other pieces to be available as well, like Kevin Durant and TJ Warren, because I'm not sure if TJ Warren is in tonight.
He is available.
He is available. So he's ready to go. Still waiting for the Terrence Ross thing to be official. So that'll be another adjustment once that comes down the pike. But I mean, there's a lot of moving parts with these teams. But the good thing is, for the most part, outside of Bazley, you got veterans that have been there. They've done that. They've been traded before. They've had to fit into situations. This one should be no different. So I don't think it'll be as big of a drop-off as maybe we think it could be.
I would hope not, especially being that TJ Warren has been here before. He's played with Devin before. Obviously, based on what we heard from TJ yesterday and Devin today, the two of them have maintained a friendship and a relationship despite not being teammates anymore. TJ was saying the last time he was in Phoenix, he was over at Devin's house and they were just reminiscing on old times and whatnot. So, the communication at least is still there. It's not like you're trying to get to know these guys for the first time.
I like that. I like how they were reminiscing about the old times. We're like, hey, remember when we lost our 345th game in a row? That was fun.
Yes. Devin actually mentioned something like that at shoot around today. He was like, I feel like 4 or 5 years ago, we were like the laughing stock of the league.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they've turned it around so quickly, he takes a lot of pride in that, as he should. I don't know that any of us expected to go from the deepest, darkest depths of despair to playing in a finals quickly. I didn't.
I did not either. But I'm actually low-key really excited to see that. I hope we get to hear about the first moment that TJ Warren does something that maybe he did 5 years ago. And he kind of, tries to get away with it or whatever. And Booker's like, hey, fuck that. We don't do that shit anymore. Not here right now. Like, I'm waiting for that moment because that's going to be fire. That's going to be awesome. And it's like, yeah, TJ Warren, I don't know if you know this, but this is Devin Booker's team. And he's about to be he's one of the greatest players in this franchise's history. A lot has changed since you left last time. Mm-hmm. So don't walk in that building thinking, oh, we're going right back to where we used to be, because nobody's going back to that spot.
Do you really anticipate that happening, though? Because I kind of don't.
I mean, I think every now and then you have a little slip up or something that maybe, I'm not even saying it's something that he would have done 5 years ago. Maybe he was late getting back on a play or mm-hmm. something, just a little lackadaisical, a little off just a little bit. And Devin noticing that and nipping it right in the bud right off the bat. Like, no, let's go.
I just don't really, I mean, maybe this is just wishful thinking, of course, but I just anticipate this whole team leveling up another notch now that Kevin Durant is here, because even Devin said it this morning that you can't really put into words what it feels like knowing that a guy like Kevin Durant, one of the greatest to play the game, is on your team. He said, but it's a feeling. Like, everything just got more real. We're ready to step up another level. And I kind of hope that they don't lose the playfulness that kind of comes with this team, like the fun. But at the same time, I'm very excited to see what leveled up Phoenix Suns basketball can look like.
Well, they only have one guy that's a fun guy, if you will, in the lineup still, and that's DA. He's the only one that
Jock's fun still.
Yeah, but he's not player. Like before the game hyped up fun.
Yeah.
Jock is like serious in the game, and then he can laugh and stuff afterwards or beforehand. But like when you're within that 4-hour window of pregame and game, Jock's not that dude. Like, DA can still lighten up and still be fun. That used to be Mikhail's role, JaVale McGee, mm-hmm. but they're gone. So now it's up to Campaign and DA, but Campaign's hurt. So DA is just the one man in the club. There's nobody on the dance floor. It's just him out there. Just let's go.
Holding it down.
Let's go.
Do you want to guess who the starters are tonight?
Let's go DA, Book. I'm gonna go. Oh shit! Oh, Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Torrey Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm missing one more. Why am I missing one more? Damn, I can't think of the fourth one.
It's Josh Okogie.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we've got DA, Book, Chris Paul, Torrey Craig, and Josh Okogie, which I know a lot of people, I think, were anticipating possibly seeing TJ Warren in that starting lineup tonight. And I'm a little bit surprised that we're not, but at the same time, I'm also not surprised because we know Monty Williams. We know he likes consistency in a lot of these areas. And pregame earlier today, he had said one of the things he's trying to balance and figure out is how to incorporate these new faces into the squad and whose minutes they'll be taking from, because obviously he said his goal, or what he typically sees them do as a team, is a 9.5-man rotation, and that half of a player is just like situational.
Yeah, I get that, but you want TJ Warren. Like, TJ Warren's role is going to be off the bench, so you might as well go ahead and get him used to that right now, and not mess with the lineup. I think you putting him on the bench as a scoring option is what his role is going to be in the future, especially once Kevin Durant gets in the fold. I expect Torrey Craig to get most of the starts for the rest of the season, even with KD in the fold. I think he'll play that 4 or 3 position, whichever one he wants, or whichever one KD doesn't want to play, I should say. And then TJ Warren and Okogie and stuff will come off the bench. So I think this is a great, kind of snapshot into what we can expect moving forward. So I would disagree a little bit in terms of Monty's willingness to play certain players at certain positions, especially you only have like 20 games left. get these guys as comfortable in the roles as possible before you get to the playoffs, and let's ride.
Yeah. Also, a little tidbit, if you will. You brought up Terrence Ross, who is rumored to be signing soon with the Suns, picking him up off the buyout market. While it's not quite official yet, Monty did have a little slip of the tongue in his pregame presser and mentioned, quote, when he gets here, and then was like, hold on, let's rewind a little bit. So all signs point to him being here in the very near future. It's just not officially official yet, so he's not with the team.
Yeah, he has to clear
point.
waivers officially first, and then once that happens, then he's clear to go. So that should happen by tomorrow, and he should be here. He's probably already here in Phoenix right now, just waiting for everything to get finalized.
All the paperwork. Dotted I's, crossed T's. All right, a few more tidbits for you guys tonight. First and foremost, we'll look at the injury report. On the Suns side of things, Kevin Durant is out, Cam Payne is out, and Landry Shamet is out. But as I mentioned, TJ Warren and Darius Bazley are both in.
It still blows my mind to see
Kevin Durant is on our team.
It's so crazy.
And on the Kings side of things, Malik Monk is out and KZ Okpala is also out. So that's what we're looking at.
Stanford tree great, KZ Okpala.
What are we wearing tonight, Shane? Show us the graphic. What do we got? Espo's not here, but we'll still talk about jerseys. The Suns are wearing their Icon edition, and the Kings are wearing their Association edition.
This is a blah matchup of jerseys.
There's a lot of purple here, though, with the Kings.
Blah.
Yeah. It's just an kind of color combination here tonight. But that's what they'll be wearing out on the court. One additional little nugget for you guys. Devin Booker, he only needs 2 more 3-point buckets to pass Steve Nash for first on the franchise's all-time 3-point field goal makes list. Likelihood of that happening tonight, in my opinion, is pretty high. These are the only 2 players in Suns history with 1,000 or more career triples in a Phoenix Suns jersey. So another cool little milestone, another stamp in the book for Devin Booker.
That's really cool. I mean, hey, listen, Devin's already near the top, if not at the top of just about every single list right now for this in Suns franchise history. And he's just getting started, which is phenomenal. So, I mean, like we've said it a million times. He's going to go down as the greatest Sun of all time. And so tonight he should break it. And if he breaks it, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, it's just going to be really cool when you think about it, because Devin's got 10 years at least left in him. I would knock on wood. I'm hoping.
I mean,
right?
He's what, 26?
I think he's 26.
Oh, he's got at least 10 years.
Right. So 10 more years, and fingers crossed, if
Chris
he
Paul
remains,
could play till he's 38.
Why can't Devin? And if he remains a Phoenix Sun, he's already at the top of a lot of these franchise leaderboard lists. Can you imagine how far above everybody else he's going to be when it's all said and done? He's going to be one of those guys for this franchise that nobody is going to ever reach, or for a very, very long time.
I mean, I could see a situation where, I think Devin Booker's well on his way to being a top 10 scorer in NBA history, just because, I mean, dude gets buckets. And he averages, 25 a game right now. If he keeps this up for at least the next 5 to 8 years, he's easily in that conversation to possibly getting in that top 10. So, barring injury, obviously, he cost himself about 20 games this year so far, which hurts. But, I think he could easily eclipse that mark. And he's easily going to be, stat-wise, miles ahead of everybody else. It's not even going to come close.
Yeah. Real quick, we do have a couple people in the chat asking about the injury report. We did talk about that, but just another heads up. TJ Warren, Darius Bazley are available to play in tonight's game. Terrence Ross is not officially a part of the Phoenix Suns, so he is not with the team. Hopefully sooner rather than later, everything will become official and he will be able to suit up with the Suns, but that's where that is. Okay. Who you got and by how much?
I have the Suns winning by 3. Because the money line, when I picked this, was 2.5. So I think they're going to cover the spread.
All right. Gerald has the Suns by 2. I have them by 4. And Espo has them by 5. Look at us. For the first time, we have a 2, 3, 4, 5.
You guys do it on purpose.
I didn't. I'm pretty, maybe. No, I felt like I was the second one to send mine in. Gerald has 2 and I had 4. We were the first 2. So you did it on purpose.
Maybe.
And that's what happened.
Maybe.
Gavin has Suns by 8. Todd has Kings by 12. Todd, you're wild. Thunderous Dunks has Suns by 7. Todd, I know you're a Kings fan, but welcome. We appreciate having you here as long as you're being nice. Eric has Suns by 8.
Huh? He says, and I'm being humble. Okay, Todd.
Todd is being very nice. He's being respectful.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Jose has Suns by 9 and Ibog has Suns by 7. What do our friends at the DraftKings Sportsbook app think about this one?
They have the Suns favorites by 2.5 points, like I said. Mm-hmm. And the money line is minus 130 for them or plus 110 for the Kings.
Okay. All right. I will say, like, the fact that the Kings are at a -2 or the Suns are at a -2.5 against the Kings, you got to give a little bit of credit to the Kings. I am impressed with the way they've been able to turn it around. And that's got to be really fun for their fan base over there as well.
Oh, yeah. They fire off the laser just about every other night now. It's pretty dope.
You know what's so funny is that when that laser idea first hit social media, the amount of grief the Kings got for that, oh, they were getting ripped left and right. And now it's actually working out in their favor.
Fire the laser. It's a joke when you're a joke.
Yes.
But when you ball out, oh, yeah, everything seems like it makes sense. Why wouldn't we have a laser? We're the Kings. I don't know. Did they have lasers in prehistoric times? Or not, in medieval times, I should say. No, they didn't. Somehow this works. Why? Because if you win, anything works. Anything sounds phenomenal. So they're riding with it.
As a betting man, I usually have a favorite team to bet on. Last year was the Knicks and Julius Randle. Still keep him close to me, but this year it's De'Aaron Fox, his points over, and the Kings. I love betting on the Kings.
So. Nice. Well, that's another little nugget. I did not bet on the Kings tonight for my DraftKings pick of the game. Saul, did you at all?
I did not.
Okay.
No, mine was a pretty simple bet. I took a parlay.
See, I feel like this is a hefty parlay, not a simple one.
I mean, I felt like these are all reachable things. Now, notice I went PRA. I did not just go points and assists or points and rebounds. I went PRA. So
which
Chris
is smart.
Paul, 30 plus. That's a good 15, 5-5 kind of game.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 25-5 kind of game. That's the one thing that I'm worried about is the Chris Paul one. But Devin Booker, 35 PRA, he should get that.
You're not worried at all about his minutes?
Who, Devin Booker?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Okay. I'm not worried about that at all. DeAndre Ayton, 35 plus PRA, same thing. Not too worried. I feel like DeAndre Ayton's going to eat Sabonis' lunch tonight.
I hope so.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Espo has the Kings' first field goal, exactly a 3-point bucket at a plus 600. And then I also created a same game parlay, but I went a little more conservative. Surprise, surprise. I have the Suns money line. I have booked 2+ threes and CP3 3+ rebounds at a plus 180. I also saw on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, they're still doing that no sweat same game parlay. So if you do a same game parlay in the NBA and you miss, you'll get a bet back from them, which is pretty cool. So if you guys have not downloaded the DraftKings Sportsbook app, now is a great time to do that. But make sure you sign up with that promo code PHNX. New customers who use that promo code can bet $5 on the NBA and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Again, that code is PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Where are we at in the standings? Do we have the standings? No, we do not have the standings.
Last time, if I recall correctly, we were all in the hundreds, weren't we? Did you finally crack 100?
I'm in the hundreds, yep.
Yeah, it was looking real sad for me there for a hot minute. I'm not going to lie. I was really upset that you and Espo both caught up. Especially because I feel like you hit on bets last week when you were doing more Super Bowl coverage, which made me even more upset. I was like, you're not even here.
I was half-assed paying attention.
But at the same time, I'm also really glad that you weren't here because I knew I would have taken so much heat from you in the post-game show. Here we go. You're at 114.13. I'm at 175.54, and Espo is at 154.
All right, just keep coming back to the pack while Daddy keeps winning. Let's go.
I really missed the days when you and Espo were both in the negative.
In the red.
I'm not going to lie.
I don't like sad face Saul. It's not fun.
It was fun for me.
It
was fun for me. All right, real quick, I do want to go back to you talking about Deandre and Domantas Sabonis, because that's a matchup that I think a lot of people will have their eyes on tonight. How are you feeling about that matchup? I know you said you think DA is going to eat tonight, but what makes you think that?
I don't know. I just feel like DA's been playing at a much higher level of late. For the last 3 or 4 weeks, he's been balling. I'm really excited that the Suns did not deal him in the Kevin Durant trade. I think he is going to be such a vital piece of the puzzle when it comes to a possible championship. So he's got to show out, though. He's got to continue to play at a high level. He's got to continue to ball. He's got to continue to play aggressively. And if he does that, the Suns are going to be the team to beat in the West. If he goes to, soft Ayton, then we have problems.
So I'm pretty sure when I was looking up some stats for this game, Domantas Sabonis is I think he's the second best offensive rebounder in the league and the best just rebounder. I'm pretty sure he's at like 12.2 rebounds per game is what he averages, and then offensive rebounds is like 2.6. So I think offensive rebounds are going to be really critical tonight for the Suns. Obviously, those second chance opportunities, you want to minimize those as much as possible. And I think Torrey Craig is going to be a big part of that as well, because I know they're going to be focused so much on boxing out DA and getting him out of that area. So Torrey Craig coming in and grabbing a few of those extra rebounds, I think could be really crucial for the Suns here too.
You got something, Shane? Where we were looking at? Oh, okay.
I suppose burner.
Yeah, I agree. But, you still got some other dudes that cause problems too. You can't forget about Biz.
Yeah.
Biz is still on the bench. He's got length. He's got, strength. And so does Jock. Jock is a pretty physical dude down there too. So I think, I think it's just fucking
Espo's burner is confessing his love to Saul now.
No. And so, I think it's a great matchup. Again, I want Deandre to take advantage of this.
Yeah.
Heavily.
I agree. It would be fun to see a big night from DA, that's for sure. All right, let's round things out with a little bit of Love Day conversations. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. We appreciate you all being here with us and spending your Valentine's Day evening watching some Suns basketball. But I want to know, first Suns player that made you fall in love with this team.
Yeah, for me, it was pretty easy. It was Kevin Johnson. Being a light-skinned guy myself, I just naturally gravitated to him. And I just love the fact that he was just this small little guy that had so much speed and power and quickness and had a mid-range jump shot like no other. I just loved how tough he was. And back when I started watching, he played a lot of games with a pulled hamstring. So he had the ace bandage wrapped with the tape, and I just thought, yeah, that's my guy right there. I like this guy, So yeah, it's always been KJ. He was always my first one.
I feel like Charles Barkley, when I was younger, was obviously the name that everyone talked about. Growing up in Sierra Vista, I didn't have as much access, if you will, to the Suns. But Steve Nash obviously was the one that kind of like drove it home. But I will say, as far as just like the fan affinity of this team, as much as those two guys were huge, I don't think that I've loved a team more than I've have when Devin got here. And just like all the different personalities that we've had come through the doors, we've had some really solid players on this team, some of whom, of course, like it didn't pan out, but they were really great players and great human beings as well. So it'd be hard to just say one specific person because there's been so many that I've had the opportunity to work with that I think have just been phenomenal people.
For sure. Yeah. So when Booker got here, I was kind of in a different place in my life, and I wasn't really paying too much attention to the NBA. I was still following the Suns, but I wasn't watching. I mean, they were not good. So there wasn't really much to pay attention to during that time. And I was kind of out of pocket doing.
Which you can't blame people for kind of like tapping out a little bit. I don't blame anybody for that.
Yeah, and then it wasn't until when I came back to Phoenix and I came back and I got to work with Fox Sports Arizona, and I got to meet Book until I realized, like, okay, yeah, this guy's something. And it's been pretty dope to watch him grow from that time when they were in 2018, they were just dog shit, to right now, and getting to see him literally create a super team. And also going back to Barkley was the first player that I can ever recall that got traded that was a superstar.
It was like a big deal
to one of my teams. And it definitely gives me PTSD looking at Kevin Durant now coming to the Suns. I'm like, holy shit. I didn't have the same feelings with Chris Paul because Chris Paul, I felt like was kind of at the end of his rope, and who knows how big of an impact he was going to make or whatever, which he did make it a big impact. But Kevin Durant, I mean, holy crap. Like, he's on our team.
It's insane.
He's going to suit up for the Phoenix Suns. Like, wow, this is so cool.
It's going to be wild after the All-Star break when we actually get the word that he is available to play. I think that's when it's really going to hit me, and it's just going to be like, holy shit. This is insane. It's going to be so much fun. We're getting quite a few different players in the chat. Obviously, Steve Nash is in here a lot. Dan Marley, Thunder Dan, he's fun. He's always a good one. Easy to root for as well. The Matrix is in here. Sean Marion. Said that again already. Bo Outlaw. That's a fun one.
That's a different one.
That's a different one for sure.
Marcus Banks.
Stephen Hunter. Listen, Stephen Hunter is a good dude, though.
Marcus Banks is like the 159th greatest guard to ever come out of UNLV. Stop.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, Barbosa. Leandro Barbosa was super fun to root for.
My era was definitely Marion, but the person who made me fall in love with basketball was Kevin Durant, which is hilarious. I mean, not made me. I was playing basketball before then, but my family being from Seattle, Sonics, and so him coming here, he's probably my favorite son. That made me fall in love with basketball. Shout out Quentin Richardson, though.
Yeah, we just got Quentin Richardson in the chat from Alex as well. That's a fun one. I don't know, but it's an exciting time to be a Suns fan. We've been through quite a bit over the last decade and some change, so it's going to be really fun when Kevin Durant finally suits up for this team.
That's putting it lightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sugarcoat as much as I can.
We basically Andy Dufresne'd our way out of Shawshank, and now we're on the outside of this bitch looking up at the sky because we got KD. Let's go.
All right. And with that, again, happy Valentine's Day. Thank you all for joining us for the pregame show. As always, we will have a postgame show for you as well. So don't forget to meet us right back here after the game wraps up. Bye.
Hey yo, my lifestyle is retro. Tell the Phoenix Metro. Megas in control and he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though, Lindsey, Gerald, Espo. Saw past the ball, we here to turn up the tempo. Got to understand me, I'll always rep the family. Rally in the valley like Dan G.